Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back again with another vlog. And being that my last post was a completion of a whole year of vlogging at least once a week and doing the post once a week, I'm gonna start it all over again. See if I can get 52 weeks again in this year, 2020. And so this time around, I'll call it 2020 Vision, right? Okay. So this will be the first post of my 2020 vlogs, and just kind of straight off the top, I just wanted to hope everyone's off to a positive and productive week. We're in February and 2020 is continuing on. Pop culture, shoot, we just had the Super Bowl. I wonder what everyone's thoughts were on the Super Bowl. You know, usually, at least for me growing up, the Super Bowl was, yes, about the two teams coming, the two best teams in the league coming together and seeing who's going to be the champion. I think the next exciting thing that usually would come along with the Super Bowl was the commercials. You know, the interesting commercials that kind of were the talk of the next couple days. Oh, did you see this commercial? Did you see that commercial? And I think for me, the third thing was the, halftime show. I think in years past, the halftime show has kind of, been, surrounded with, either just not the most entertaining kind of performers, maybe some, a little bit of the boycotting, boycott the Super Bowl, boycott the NFL kind of thing. And if, you decided you were the performer or the celebrity that decided to do the Super Bowl halftime show, you got a little flack for that. But I would say this year's Super Bowl, as much as the two performers were Shakira and J-Lo, I think they did a good enough job. I didn't get to see the whole thing from beginning to end, just kind of in and out. But I felt they did a good enough job. It seemed exciting, it seemed fun, and it seemed like a nice transition from the football game to the halftime show and then back to the football game. Outside of that, I know my last few posts in my Turning Pro vlog, I was talking about maybe sharing some of the project that I'm currently working on, or the goals that I have set for myself. And so one of the things that I wanted to share, I guess, as much as I can share right now, is I would like to do a spring event. It's kind of one of the things that I found joy in doing was creating events. I haven't done one in numerous years. For whatever reason it was. I think for myself it came down to it is because the last show didn't go as well. And I'm sure in other posts and other videos that I've done, I've talked about that and how that went down and how that kind of affected me in wanting to do anything, just kind of like the pressure put on you to kind of create something. But I think I'm ready to do that. I'm ready to kind of get back into that. And so I have recently written a proposal to a gallery here in town to do an event in the spring. I've had this idea for a while and it just kind of built up and it just kind of feels right to kind of do it. So I kind of went through the process of contacting the gallery, understanding what their rules and parameters are for doing events, and then they suggested or required that I do an event proposal. So based on the questions they asked me, I kind of went through and answered the questions and I kind of gave them a better idea of what I want to create for this event in the spring. For me, the spring is a great time because it's kind of like moving from the transition of, the cold, the winter, the isolation, of the winter, to the reinvigoration and excitement of the spring. There's also March, which is March Madness, and that's always kind of held a pleasant memory for me. And so doing something in the spring really means a lot to me. It's kind of really something that I can really get behind and really believe in. I think the next event that I'd like to do, if I can get an opportunity to do that, would be in the fall or towards fall going into winter, later in the year. So I'm not necessarily too worried about that, but I want to be able to get this one under my belt and kind of build some momentum and going into that one in the fall. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, waiting on them to either approve the proposal or give me an option. Hopefully there is an option Outside of that, I'm just continue on working on the projects that I'm trying to build for this year. I think it's all process, so it all takes time. But I think where I'm at, and I'm starting with a few setbacks that have happened that kind of been my mind. The Kobe Bryant passing, and just kind of being out of sorts around that whole kind of thing. Understanding, losing a hero, and how to deal with it, how to move forward. And so, again, like I mentioned in that last video, I was talking about the Mamba mentality. And so I kind of really started a little research, light research, on just kind of what Kobe Bryant meant by this Mamba mentality. And so I just kind of really, like I said, lightly, just by either watching interviews again, and it's just kind of getting what he means by that. So working on those things really kind of lightly, but with other projects I have those pretty much in gear to kind of keep going on from here, and hopefully see it completed. I think one of the things that I also have for this month is one of the screenwriting projects, or one of those screenwriting contests that I would like to enter has the early bird opening for screenplays. And so I'd like to get that one. It's a little cheaper if you get the early bird than rather than waiting till later. So I'll try to get that one. That's later this month. But that's kind of what I got going. I'm excited for it, and hoping and believing that I can achieve these goals for myself. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Hope everyone again is off to a positive, productive week. Definitely a positive and productive year. And like we always do this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.